Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here watching this video. This is my second time making a video on piano playing tips and techniques. So today I want to talk about sight reading. Sight reading is something that a lot of people struggle with, and I think a lot of people don't really think much about it. They just jump into pieces, but they don't really consider the process of sight reading. So I will share with you guys what I do know, and hopefully that'll still be able to help you. When you are starting a new piece, it helps to already be familiar with different rhythms and tempos. So be able to play music in 4/4 timing, in 3/4, 2/2, 6/8, all these different timings. You should have some experience playing in them. Also, be familiar with the key signatures and be able to identify the key that you're playing in. Okay, so if there's two sharps, it's going to be in D major. D major has an F sharp and a C sharp. So just be familiar with these things. And then before you even start the piece, before you even start playing the piano, look through the whole entire piece and just look for page turns that might be difficult, key changes, look at the rhythm and the notes and just the whole structure of the piece and get a feel for that before you even begin. Sometimes it can help to even listen to it, depending on the piece, so that you know what it's supposed to sound like and you know what you're supposed to be playing. Also, mark your music up. Don't be afraid to use a pencil or a pen on it. Some of my music has been so marked up, and I wish I could show you guys because it's kind of crazy. But I had to erase it all for competition. Also, if you mark up your music and you're playing at a competition, make sure to erase it so the judges don't know exactly what to look for when they're judging you. But yeah, that's why I erased it. Always do that so that you can remind yourself when you're practicing what you're supposed to be working on and what different things you're struggling with and how to fix them. Don't look at your hands. And this is hard, but it's kind of like when you're learning to type on a keyboard. They always tell you don't look at your fingers, blah, blah, blah. But it's the same thing for piano, because you should get to the point where you can pretty much read the music on your book and not even have to look at your hands. Sometimes if your hands are like, on opposite ends of the piano, then you might need to look at your hands. But you should generally get the feel for the keys and eventually not have to be looking down. Also, make sure to go slow when you start out. Remember that you don't have to be playing it perfectly and at the right tempo when you first start it. You want to go slow as you're just getting used to it. But make sure that you're not going slow and speeding up and then going slow and speeding up throughout the song. Some parts may be easier than others or harder than others, and it may be tempting you to speed up and slow down for these parts. But that's a really bad habit, because then in the end, when you can finish the song, you're not even going to realize that you've gotten yourself into this habit of not playing the right tempo throughout the whole song, but speeding up and slowing it down. So make sure you're starting out slow and with the consistently right tempo the whole entire song. It may help to count out loud, or it may also help to use a metronome. I know metronomes, I hate metronomes, but they really do help. You don't have to use it all the time, but maybe just use it 1 or 2 times in the beginning until you really can get a feel for it. Always be counting in your head, maybe tap your foot or something. Sometimes I'm not in my head. Anything you have to do to make sure you're getting that tempo down. If you make a mistake, it's okay, just keep going. Even if you're sight reading a song and there's someone singing with you or whatever, like you're practicing, it's okay, just keep going. And you know where that is, maybe circle it when you're going back through and then just sit down and work on that section or that measure. But we all make mistakes, and especially as you're sight reading and first learning a song, you're not expected to be able to play it perfectly. So just remember that. Don't overwhelm yourself. So maybe take a break every 30 minutes or come back the next day or later on, like after work or after school or something, to work on your song, because if you work on it all at once, it can just be really overwhelming, and then you're gonna really not learn as fast as you should be. Also, be realistic in the music that you're picking to learn, because I know how it is. You get really excited about a piece and you just want to learn it, and you get it, like you buy it or you print it, and then you sit down and you're like, oh my goodness, where do I start? I'm all for picking hard songs and challenging yourself, but make sure that it's actually something that you can learn. If you're not that advanced yet, then start with easier things. Still challenge yourself, but don't pick the hardest thing that you can find. Even if it sounds cool, you'll get there, I promise. But put that on your put that on a to-do list, and then stick to some other things that you can work on that'll still challenge you. But generally, you're gonna learn a piece faster and better if you like what you're playing. So I would advise you to find something that you like that's gonna challenge you, and then work on that. And maybe find a couple different pieces that you can go back and forth with again, so you don't just get overwhelmed and bored of the same song. But yeah, be realistic. So I really want to hear from you guys. How you're playing maybe going, and the questions that you have, and I will really try to answer them in these videos. I'm excited for this. I'm sorry that my audio stinks. I'm using my computer and I need to get a better setup, but this is what I have right now. So you guys can message me and I will hopefully get back to you answering your questions. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and like the video, comment, all that jazz. Thank you so much. Have a great day.